Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Explode Your Expert Business Show. If you're watching the replay now, put hashtag replay so I can see you're watching live. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you very much for listening on the show or watching on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching there. Now today we are talking about selling. We are talking about what is the number one thing that you need to have in place if you want to have more clients, make more money, and sell more. And let me tell you, this is not what you might think, because in fact this is not a sales strategy. Thank you very much Angela, Regina, Deborah for joining. Ask also your sales question here as well. But let me start with a quick story before I get into the meat of what I'm going to talk about today on this show. I remember when I started my business, when I started GTeX, there was a lot to do, and I suddenly found myself pulled into 5,000 different directions because I needed to create the events, I needed to create products, we needed to create services, we needed to get the clients, we need to market ourselves. And when you are running a business, that's all that you're doing. You're pulled a lot of times in 1,000 different directions, and even when you have a team, that doesn't change unless you become better at managing yourself. And I remember that I spent 6 months working like crazy, every single hour of the day, no day off, literally an average of about 15 to 16 hours a day for 6 months. And I said, just put everything I've got in these 6 months and something is gonna shift, something is gonna change, I'm gonna have the clients that I want. And I did it. I worked my ass off. I got sick multiple times over that 6 months because I was working too much and I was not sleeping nowhere near enough. And then at the end of the 6 months, I looked at my bank account and guess how many clients I had? Two clients in 6 months. And they were not here really high paid clients. There was like, I think £500 here, £500 there, but not much more. And I really looked at myself and I said, I put all I had in this 6 months and nothing has happened. I mean, busy, doing a lot of stuff, but the bank account, exactly the same. And so I said, what is the missing part? What is the missing part? And when I was realizing and analyzing what happened, I realized that actually the missing part was that I didn't focus enough on selling. I didn't focus enough on selling. I did everything else that I could, but selling, it was only taking maybe a couple of hours or 1 hour or a couple of hours a week of all the other things I was doing because I thought that the other things were more important and I was avoiding selling like the plague. I didn't want to get rejected, I didn't even know how to sell, and it was this very uncomfortable thing that I didn't want to have sales conversation, therefore I pushed this away and I just allocated a minimum time. But then I remember attending a course, a seminar, and there was the speaker in that case was Patrick Powers, and he said there are 2 things that you need to have as a business owner at the beginning. All the rest it can wait. But the 2 most important things are marketing and selling. Well, I was marketing myself like crazy. I was putting blogs out there. I was starting doing some YouTube videos. So I was putting myself out there, but selling, man, that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening at all. And guess why? No sales, no money. That's the equation, right? No sales, no money. More sales, yes money. And I had to take a hard look at myself and then make a commitment to myself and to my business that I was going to sell as much as I could and spending the majority of my time, now that I've already developed the skills and I've already developed the programs, the majority of my time selling what I have created, selling the sessions that I could offer, selling the programs that I created. Because this is the thing. If you don't make selling a priority, and this is what I realized, if I didn't make selling a priority, I couldn't expect anything to change. I couldn't expect clients to come in. I couldn't expect more money to come. And this is what I really want you to get from this show today, that sales must be the number one priority in your business. Because the moment you stop selling, it means that there is the moment where the money stops coming in. Now, money for a business is like the oxygen for the human body. What happens if you don't get enough oxygen? What happens if you stop breathing? You die. What happens if the money stops flowing into the business? The business dies. And what happens? We go into this entrepreneurial world because not because we want to sell. I mean, very few people, they say, "I love selling so much, I'm gonna set up my own business." We have an idea, we fall in love with the idea, we fall in love with our clients, with the impact that we can make, with the possibility of the lifestyle that we can have for ourselves and our family, with the possibility of giving more to the charity and the causes that we love. That's why we go in business in the first place. Some people to create a legacy as well. Not because they say, "Oh, I just want to spend a lot of time selling my stuff." But this is what is going to allow you to have everything else. The moment you make selling a priority and you commit yourself daily to do sales activities, to contacting people, to having sales calls, to speak in front of people and making offers, to create webinars and seminars and making offers from webinars and seminars, whatever works for you. There are 100,000 ways of selling. Don't have to use them all. You gotta find the way that works for you, but as long as you commit to a few different ways, and then you keep going at it every single day, that's where it's gonna be the moment where your business will actually will grow exponentially. And this is a constant focus. It's not something that you can do once or twice for a couple of months and then stop doing it. Because there is also the trap of I have made it. The "I have made it" trap. I fell into this trap many times, and every time it came back as a slap my face, reminding me actually what was the biggest priority. In fact, what I did a couple of times, I was seeing a lot of clients coming in, a lot of money coming in, make six-figure days, and I was like, "Wow, I make six-figure in one day. This is awesome. We are sorted." And then what happens, started getting complacent. And I said, well, now we have money in the account, we have clients that are coming in, things are gonna get easier. I don't need to focus on selling as much. Bang! Then a few months later, because I haven't put the sales activities right now, a few months later, then the business was suffering. And this is the other part that you need to realize. The reason why it's so important to focus on selling like you're focusing on breathing oxygen and eating to sustain yourself is because if you don't do the right thing now, if you don't sell now, your business, your life, your whatever you're doing is going to suffer 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, and is going to take some time then to pick things up again and to build that momentum again. Because what happens, now you put in the sales activities, so you start generating the sales conversations, the clients right now, but the majority of the sales conversation that you're going to have right now, they will convert maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 months from now, which means that if you stop 5, 6 months down the line, then nothing is gonna happen, and then it's going to take another 4 or 5 months to rebuild this. So now suddenly it can be, this is a worst case scenario, but it can be a 1-year gap of having no clients or very little clients just because you got complacent. And that's a trap that I've made it trap, which I fell a few times. I'm not gonna fall for it again though. I got my lessons. So now, how can we make selling a priority? This is the big question for today. How can we make selling a priority like we is a priority for us eating or breathing or taking care of ourselves? In particular, if you don't like selling, because if you like selling, then it's a more enjoyable process, it's a more enjoyable task. But if you don't like selling, is very likely going to be the number one thing we say. Let me keep busy with everything else. I don't want this stuff anymore. I don't like to do this stuff. But how can we make it a priority? Well, there are a few things that you can do. First of all, is to have it scheduled in your calendar. So something that I do, I have everyday time scheduled in my calendar where it's just focused on sales activities. Some days I can do more, some days I can do less. You know, life as an entrepreneur is very flexible, but at least an hour a day. That's the minimum amount of time I'm spending creating and generating sales conversation. Sometimes it can go for a full day that I'm dedicated to selling. Depending on how you are, you can schedule some time in your calendar. If you prefer to block a half a day and you say, you know what, this is the half a day blocked in my calendar and I'm going to do maybe 3 half a day slots of selling, just selling for my business, and these are my days. Some people work well in this way. Other people, they just need to have the consistent daily practice and they will reduce the time for that, because of course you have all the other things that you need to run in your business, unless you already have a sales team, which then makes things a bit different. So that's number one thing. So allocate and schedule time for selling in your calendar and you will see the results that will create. Second is also to remind yourself before you start a day about your reason why. And this is more like psychological process. You can work with we can work with some incredible people around that, but to link selling with the goals or the aspirations of the dreams that you have. Because a lot of time what happens psychologically, we link running the business or maybe creating a product or serving our clients with the bigger aspiration that we have, with the internal motivation that we have. But the moment we link selling with that bigger goal, suddenly there is a pull, right? So you're not pushing or forcing yourself anymore to sell, but there is a pull, something that actually gives you the energy to sell and say inside you that makes you want to sell, because now you know that selling is a link to that bigger goal. And that's one of the biggest things that you can do. I did a lot of NLP exercises on that. Fortunately, my business partner Ben is an NLP trainer, he's an NLP practitioner and master practitioner. And at the beginning when we started working together, we did he helped me out, did a lot of NLP exercises on me and with me, helping me really fall in love and getting this drive inside me of this passion for selling. And now it's there. Now I cannot do anything else but selling. I mean, if you know me, I love selling right now, but I didn't start it in this way. So this inner work helped me massively, because now I know that the more I sell, the more I can serve. The more I sell, the more opportunities there are. The more I sell, the more I can help and support my family. The more I sell, the more my business grows. The more I sell, the more my clients are happy, because I can serve them more. I have more resources even for them. So that's all the links that I have for selling now. And then the last thing you can do is actually one of the most powerful things, which is external accountability. Now, if you're looking at sales teams and you ever work maybe in a sales role, there is a reason why the majority of the sales position and sales roles, they require you to come to the office instead of working remotely. There are sales roles that are remotely, but there's been a lot of studies stating that the sales people that work in a team, they tend to perform better than someone who is working by themselves. Why is that? Selling is tough. selling is the toughest thing you can do in your business because there is a lot of rejection associated to it. You receive a lot of no's. There is literally in a day there is an up and down, a roller coaster of emotion, which is so difficult, makes it very difficult to keep that discipline and a consistency to just keep doing the things that you need to do up until you get that yes that you're looking for. But when you are in an environment where everyone else is doing the same thing, what happens, we tend to, let's say, merge with our environment. We tend to adopt the environment that we are in. And therefore, if you are spending more time and creating an accountability group where everyone else is selling, or if you don't have a sales team, which means you're selling with your sales team, but at least having an accountability group where all the people are selling that are with you. That's something actually that we do in GTeX. So we create sales days where our clients come in and they sell all together. Why? Because there is a buzz that is generated. There is a buzz that is created. There is a no, something doesn't happen. You have someone giving you a pat on the back and saying, don't worry, everything is going to be all right. Get to the next call. And then you see the other people that are picking up the phone, sending messages, closing deals. So there is this energy that builds up, and this energy becomes suddenly infectious. And then you get more motivated, and you can get to the yes much faster. And the moment you get to the first yes, then come the second and the third and the fourth, because now the momentum is built, the energy is built, the excitement is built. You don't even care anymore if someone is saying no. You're just, okay, next. Who is the next person I can talk to? But it takes sometimes a while to get there. And I found even myself, the more I'm surrounded about other people that are selling, and if I'm surrounded with that environment instead of just being on my own, I perform way better. And that's the same for the majority of people as well. So these are my 3 things that you can do to make selling a priority. So schedule it in your calendar, then make sure you do some inner work, linking selling with the bigger goal and the bigger mission that you have, and then get external accountability. Now, we are going to talk for the entire month, for the next month, about selling. So I'm going to give you a lot of sales strategies, I'm going to give you a lot of sales techniques. So keep watching those Facebook Lives, keep listening to the podcast, keep watching my YouTube videos, so then you don't miss any other crucial sales training to help you create more revenues in your business. Also, we are going to launch soon. I'm going to tell you when it's going to happen. Our sales mastery mentoring program. We had incredible results last year, and then I'm going to tell you a bit more about that. People getting 5 figures clients, people generating 6 figures in sales in about 6 or 8 months. So stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you a bit more about that in the next few days. Guys, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for watching live. Thank you for, maybe if you're watching the recording, thank you for watching the recording. Big hi to Robert, Andrew, Monica. Thank you very much for joining, guys. Now it's time for me to go. Have a fantastic day, and remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.